Basically, the miracle of that first continuity fund was it's never been done in India before with domestic money.
Karthik, the way I've seen, you guys have actually taken it to the different level with the whole concept of continuity funds, where you figured out that the companies which need to be taken beyond the journey of a regular fund, you've been able to add incremental life beyond a particular fund's life. So, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because that's also mentioned in your reports about how you created
and it's too early to talk about the end state of them. I would love to. I think 3-4 years down the line, the Omega files will break down the first continuity fund. So I'm already looking forward to it with excitement. I think that's half the reason we did the Omega files. Something to look forward to every few years. But basically, the miracle of that first continuity fund was it's never been done in India before with domestic money.
Right.
Nobody has ever raised a continuity fund. 0 to 100. All money came from India in that fund, by the way. And believe it or not, it came in the pandemic with almost 100% coverage on Zoom. Right? So we call it a miracle fund. And we were oversubscribed by quite a bit. Right? So we targeted 225 crores to buy out 6 assets. We got 375 crores. All right. So we ended up actually playing primary capital in up rounds. So we got like a bounty. So we could actually play into Exotel and Purple and all of these companies in another round after transferring the asset. So where does that motivation come from? It's 2-3 parts. The fundamental belief is, can this asset still grow by 5x? Otherwise, why are you playing? Why are you wasting your money, investors' money, IRR, time to manage, the cost of managing this? This is all very, very high if you don't believe that you're still going to compound at 25-30%. Okay. So that's yardstick number one, right? Otherwise, you just sell the asset and move on, right? And there are other investors who actually sold the asset while we actually rotated it through, in like Zopper, which we've done through one of the continuity funds. Zopper, there is nobody in the cap table other than 2 founders in Blume who are consistent from 3 years ago. Everybody else has been rotated out through secondaries, etc. We are the only guys who have actually rotated our position through a continuity fund. The second, I think, is a little bit of personal pride and personal greed, to be honest. You did 10 years of work. Company went from 2 million to 100 million. और आपके सामने दिख रहा है कि ये 400 million बन सकता है, 500 million बन सकता है. Why would I? And by the way, for doing 1/10 of work, I'll be blunt. Right? The company is at all settled, close to profitability, has a robust 5% board. 4 of them are new investors. They just bought in at 100 million. They're going to do all the hard work. I'm going for the ride, right? Why would I leave that money on the table? It's a serious decision, in my humble opinion. So we found a hack. We basically said the right way to do this is through the continuity fund. It worked for us. So you need somebody who had that belief, and lo and behold, Indian investors love this kind of stuff because essentially it's a shorter life fund. It's a known discovered portfolio. We gave discounts on fees and carry economics, right? The cost of that fund is lower because you don't run a 10-year fund. The costs are usually annualized, right? So you're only running a 5-year fund. So basically, it's a very efficient vehicle. Theoretically, some of them might actually get a net IRR better than that of the core fund because the core fund took a lot of slog to get there, whereas the continuity fund was well primed for the growth. And by the way, despite the slowdown, Fund 1's continuity candidates are probably the most robust companies in my entire portfolio because they figured out how to be profitable with very little money before we moved in there.
Right.
So none of them are at risk. None of them are at risk. They have enough capital. They have enough proximity to profitability. None of them is going to die even if you take an axe to them. The beauty of that continuity fund is that however low the probability, it gives me the chance of making a mega statement that in a 15-16 year period, the companies that I backed in 2011 to 13 are not 5x and not 3x in the continuity fund, but 15x in totality.
Wow.
Right? And if I can say that, then for the first time we showed double-digit DPI in India, then you can tell the Americans, boss, it can happen in India as well. Right? Don't keep trashing us that it can't happen in India. It's just a matter of you got us at the wrong time, you got us in a weak ecosystem, and then you complain that it was not happening for a decade. We take all the criticism, but our time has come.